order to cut this piece of wood in this way, you need this type of saw. This is a job site table saw. This is made for this cut. This is ripping. But if you want to cut it that way, this is a cross cut. You can't use this saw because it's dangerous and not safe, because the saw might shoot this piece of wood at you when it's working. So you need either a miter saw like this one, or you can use this jig that I made for this purpose. There is a lot of videos on internet showing how to make this jig, but everyone made it on its way, so this is my way how I made it. This one can cut cross-cutting easily and accurately. If you want to see how I made it, watch the video with me. This is a 80mm oak plywood. I thought it would be good for this project. I cut it to the measurement of 80 centimeter, so I can take 50 centimeter and use it to the front fence. The masterpiece will be 70 by 80, and the front fence height will be 10 centimeter. I cut this 50 centi, and this is for the front fence. I cut 3 pieces, and then I would stack it together and glue it like this one. I use this level because it's straight. This piece should be very straight, so I can clamp it with them to make sure that everything is straight. Make sure to spread the glue evenly. I use this piece of plastic to do this. And then we can stack it together and glue it. I almost use every clamp I had. So we can go to the next piece. This is the main piece. I thought it would be cool to make this curve cut to lower its weight and also as a decorative. I used a jigsaw to do this. This is a fine blade to prevent tear out of the plywood. Make sure to follow the line. No need to be so accurate. You can sand it later. Now I need to place this inside the main piece. This aluminum track. I made 2 cuts at the table, so you can see this curvy cut. I just made it too early. I shouldn't do it, so I had to replace this piece to make this cut at the table saw. Then I used the router to clean up the rest of the wood. I made 2 cuts at the width of this aluminum track. I took the distance between the edge of the router and the router bit. This is the same aluminum track I would use. I used it as a fence. Make sure to use dust extraction with router because it's really messy. This is how it looks after the table saw, and this is how it looks after the router. After we make sure that the aluminum track is fit, we can use this epoxy to glue it up. I didn't use the wood glue because it doesn't glue to the aluminum track, so I used this epoxy because it can stick to the wood and to the aluminum track. I use this piece of wood to make sure that all the aluminum track is compressed inside the dado that I made. Now we come back to our front fence. We remove all the clamps. Make sure it's straight, which is allowed the rest of the glue squeeze out. And then we can take it to the table saw to straighten it, and also to remove the glue marks. I made this chamfer to prevent sawdust from stugging between the wood and the fence, to make the measurement or the cut of the wood not accurate. I use this type of aluminum track to the front fence. I lowered the blade to its height and I set up the fence to its width and made the cut. I marked the location of the aluminum track on the wood, and then I drilled for the screw. Forgive me about my bad language because this is the first time I record on YouTube. It looks nice. Now we can screw it down. Now we can go to the piece of wood that will sit in the table saw track. This should be of hardwood, so I used teak wood for this purpose. It should be a little bit lower than its depth so it can move easily, and it should fit snugly but it can move easily inside it. I used this piece of plastic to raise it up while gluing it to the sled. I put some glue on it. You can see this beautiful plastic bottle of my wood glue. It's for mayonnaise. Spread it evenly. Make sure not to put so much glue on this piece. I use the fence of the table saw to align this piece with the saw blade. I use the countersink bit to countersink the screws. I slide it a little so I can screw it down to the sled. This is from the back and one from the front, so I can lift it and complete the screws. I remove the glue, squeeze out. I use some paste wax so it can slide easily and also for protection. This is the back piece. It's a piece of oak. No need to be so accurate. It's just for the support. Don't forget to subscribe my channel to see my videos. I'm new on YouTube, but I hope you enjoy my videos. I screw this piece down to the sled. Like I said, it doesn't need to be so accurate. It's only for support. But make sure don't put screw in the middle of it, because the saw blade go through the middle. This piece need to be so accurate, so I just screw it from one side so I can move it and adjust it at the table saw when I do the cut. Now we can do the cut of the table saw. We lower the blade. Now I can lift it up, make this cut but not all the way through it. just to make this line that we can adjust the front fence with it. I use this square, large framing square, to adjust it and then screw it from the other side. Do not screw it with many screws until you make sure that it's correct. After we make sure that it's correct, we can screw it down with many screws. Can check it, make sure it's square, and we can make the cut. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestion, write it down below in the comment section, and thanks for watching. It's perfect. Alhamdulillah.